Oh, I'm so excited. I know it's only training camp and there's still not a whole lot going on. It's the first day, but that means football's here. It's right around the corner. We're about to see preseason and these players finally taking the field. And there's just a few stories we have to go over and one big elephant in the room. Welcome in. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Guys, we are back with our Talkin' Jets panel. Me, O'Leary, and Green Bean every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So if you want to ask us some Jet-related questions, make sure you tune in for that. And don't forget about our ticket giveaway. All you have to do is leave a comment down below and get yourself entered to possibly win 2 tickets to the Jets home opener against the New England Patriots. But let's move on to our topics of the day. The Jets have finally started training camp, and there's so much for us to possibly dissect and go over and overanalyze and overreact to because it's just day one and things change. So first up, the Jets are going to be wearing a GK on the side of their helmets in honor of Coach Knapp. He tragically passed away due to a bike accident last week. So that's really cool to see. Glad they're going to dedicate this season to him. Hopefully that fires up the team just a little bit more and we get to see some really, really good offense on this side. And defense, everyone loved that guy. From everything I've heard, really infectious personality and just everything that he, the players he's dealt with, everyone just absolutely loved this guy. So really, really, really happy to see them dedicate this season to him. Next up, CJ Mosley, big question mark coming into the year. 2 years he really hasn't played for the Jets. I mean, aside from like a game and a half or 3/4 or whatever you want to say, really not a whole lot of playing time for CJ Mosley in a New York Jets uniform. So this was really our first look at him. He is down to 231 pounds. That is the lightest he has been since college. So I guess a good thing. He should be a little bit faster. Hopefully he comes back. If he come back to like 85% of the form we got during that Week 1 Buffalo game 2 years ago, I'd be pretty happy. That's pretty solid. But hopefully he comes back to like his all-pro form. That would be just fine with me. We got to see Becton and Elijah Vera Tucker on the left side of the offensive line. From what I've seen and read, the holes they were open up might give you an erection. Sorry, bad joke. But no, I'm excited. Man, I want to see these running backs run through the left side of that line all season long. It's only going to help our quarterback situation. It's only going to help our play action situation. And hopefully we get to see Michael Carter be the lead back. It sort of seemed from what I was reading, it looks like they're trying to feed him the ball a little bit more. Now, again, like I said, first day of training camp, so not a whole lot to read into too much, but it sounds like Vera Tucker and Becton were just throwing guys open. And if you really dive into it, you got to think the defense probably is not too afraid of the passing game since we don't have our quarterback in there just yet. So if they're devoting to the run, maybe that means we're even playing better, or the defense is not playing well. Who knows? But I'm excited nonetheless for Becton and Vera Tucker. I saw a little bit of dramatic overreactions from people on Twitter. Mims is playing with the second team. Oh my, Lanta. Not great. Totally awful. He's going to be a bust. No, it's training camp. Obviously, Keelan Cole had a really good minicamp, and he has earned the right to start over Mims at this point, at least the start of training camp. And it doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. I mean, Mims, Herndon, Elijah Moore, and Berrios were all on the second team unit. I do expect Elijah Moore to start, just like I expect Mims to eventually crack into the starting lineup as well. So I'm not overly concerned yet. I'll be keeping an eye on it, but again, early on in the season here. Kicking-wise, we still continue to have issues. Sam Ficken, 1 of 4. Chris Nagar, 3 of 4. Which I guess isn't the worst, but I would hope that you could see a little more consistency in the kicking game, because this has been a consistent issue now for going on our 3rd season here with Joe Douglas. So I really would like to have seen this settled, and I'm hoping, whether it's through the waiver wire or through free agency or something like that, that the Jets could really get an answer to their kicking situation, because we are going to lose games because of our kicker. It's happened the last 2 years, and I guarantee it's going to happen again if we don't address the issue. And then we get to talk about the 2,000-pound elephant in the room here, and that is quarterback Zach Wilson not being at training camp. We learned today that Trey Lance, the only other first-round pick that hadn't signed his contract today. It was a 4-year, $34.1 million contract. The Jets and Zach Wilson still have not agreed to the offset language. That appears to be the hang-up here. Now, things to note, Zach Wilson is being represented by Brian Aralt. That is the same agent that took care of Joey Bosa, trying to get him the same type of language. Did not work out for Joey Bosa. Bosa actually missed the first 4 weeks of training camp, so buckle up, Jet fans. This could be a long ride. And it's not something I'm really excited about because with a new regime coming in, you really want Zach Wilson to get as many reps as possible. And now you might be saying, hey, what's the deal with offset language? Why is this such a big issue? Jets just give it to him. Well, of the 32 teams, to my knowledge, from the things I was reading, only 2 teams have given up offset language. I always confuse this. Matt O'Leary, you know exactly what you're talking about. I'm going to confuse this. I'm going to put it backwards. Either way, offset language basically allows a player to double dip, and the only teams that have allowed that to happen have been the Rams and the Jaguars. So they allowed it with Trevor Lawrence, and now the Jets are trying not to allow that to happen in the event they were to cut Zach Wilson in the future, or, they get to recoup some money, I guess. But the big holdup is that if you give it to Zach Wilson, will you have to give it to every first-round pick after this? Now, Sam didn't get it. Quinnen Williams didn't get it. So I think you'll see this regime continue in that fashion. I think it's more of an owner mentality, more so than a GM mentality. I think this is going to be one of those things that owners try to give the players in the next collective bargaining agreement as kind of a chip like, hey, we'll give you this if you give us something else. And it's not really a huge thing because Zach Wilson is like, more so than not, you're not expecting to cut your quarterback. We did it, I guess. We didn't cut Sam Darnold. I guess we traded him. But either way, you're expecting this guy to be on our team for the foreseeable future. So I don't see it as a huge issue, but I can understand the precedent that it could set and how you could maybe go down a bad hole. Maybe you draft a player that gets into some trouble, and then now they get to double dip, and you don't get to recoup any of that money. So I can see it where it's an issue. Still frustrating nonetheless. Either way, I want to see Zach Wilson in camp because when I'm looking at this offense, it's really hard for me to grade both the offense and the defense because we don't have a backup quarterback, really. I mean, we have It's Mike White and James Morgan. Those are the only 2 guys that are taking snaps, neither of which has thrown an interception in an NFL game. So we got that going for us, which is pretty cool. I did see some news that the Jets were going to be working out Josh Johnson and Sean Mannion, I think. I think those were the 2 names. Again, nothing that really gets me excited in any capacity. I just want to see Zach Wilson in the Jets uniform. I want to see him slinging the ball all over the place. This is what I'm really excited for. And I know there's the business side of this, but man, to not have him here really feels like the Jets offense is kind of coming out flat. You're sort of losing the excitement that would be at training camp right now. So hopefully this doesn't last too long. Hopefully by the time I release this video, maybe it's not even a big issue anymore. But I think because of what happened with Joey Bosa and that agent, I think Wilson is probably buckling up for a pretty long holdout, and it doesn't seem like the Jets are going to budge anytime soon. So guys, let me know what you think of everything down below in the comments. Do you want to see, or what do you want to see? Do you think the Jets should cave? Do you think Zach Wilson should cave? Who is kind of wrong? Are you concerned about any players playing on the second team? What are you looking forward to? What were you upset with? I want to know everything down below in the comments. And as always, go Jets.